Thank you, Alan. Several Tulsa police officers are in Washington, D.C. this week to honor Sergeant Craig Johnson for making the ultimate sacrifice.
Johnson was shot and killed during a traffic stop in Tulsa last year. A candlelight vigil was held last night for 701 officers from across the country who recently died in the line of duty. Their names are now on the wall at the National Law Enforcement Memorial.
News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter was at last night's vigil. He joins us live from Washington, D.C. Reagan, this is the first time in 25 years a Tulsa officer's name has been added to the wall. What's the reaction there from officers?
Well, you know, Dave and Tess, it's kind of hard to explain the reaction because the situation is so unfortunate. Chief Wendell Franklin was telling me last night, you know, no officer ever wants to have their name on that wall. But he says having ceremonies like we saw last night, a candlelight vigil to recognize all those officers as well as their families and to etch their name in history on that wall, joining 22,000 other officers who died in the line of duty. He says things like that really lift their spirits and help them heal through all of this. And they just know that their brother will never be forgotten because his name's always going to be there. And it just helps them move forward. But, you know, they're very thankful that these events are put on. And that's why so many officers from Tulsa came to show their support for Craig Johnson.
Seeing the response from those officers, seeing the video that we're showing this morning is incredible, Reagan. Sergeant Johnson's family is there, right, along with Officer Zarkashan himself?
Yes, they are. So the Tulsa Police Foundation, as well as the Honor Guard, helped raise a bunch of money to make sure that Sergeant Johnson's wife, as well as his boys, and Arash Zarkashan, were here in D.C. for these ceremonies. But they joined 4,000 other family members of fallen officers that were there last night. Just packed the National Mall here in D.C. You know, it's rare that you get chills when you're out covering some of these stories. But last night, you know, seeing all those candles lit and to hear those 701 names read in front of all those people, it was very special. And I had a chance to talk with some of the officers afterwards, and they were just blown away. Some of them had seen it for the first time, some had seen it before, and they say every time it's just amazing to look around and see all the support for all those that lost their life.
Powerful moments indeed, Reagan. And you're going to be staying in Washington, D.C. through part of the weekend. I know it's not over yet. What's going on tomorrow?
So tomorrow is kind of the big event. Last night was the first of the two big events, the candlelight vigil. Tomorrow is the Stand Watch for the Fallen ceremony. That's going to be at the U.S. Capitol. They're also having a wreath-laying ceremony, and pretty special. Zarkashan is going to be escorting Craig Johnson's family for that wreath-laying ceremony. So a pretty powerful moment right there. And also there's about 30 members of the Tulsa Police Honor Guard here. Pretty much the whole team came. First time that's ever happened. This is the 50th year anniversary of that. And so they sent almost the whole team, raised a bunch of money, and I found out that a bunch of them volunteered to escort families of fallen officers from other states who didn't have officers from those home states here. So pretty special right there. And we've also found out that President Joe Biden will be the keynote speaker for that event.
All right, thank you so much, Reagan. And of course, Officer Zarkashan is the officer who was injured alongside Sergeant Johnson that night.
Reagan, thank you very much.